Hello, galactic travelers, cosmic crew. What's up? I want to thank all the new subscribers. It's such a huge blessing to wake up this morning with so many new perceptions and so many new beings joining the crew. And unbeknownst to all of you, it was a huge shift that I had to show. I couldn't even put on makeup. This morning waking up, I wanted to make sure to share a perception of this Venus retro transit with Mercury in Scorpio. This has to do with timelines, and it has to do with shadow work. Last night, and so this started for me 2 days ago, and it like a lot of y'all, since my activation about 17-18 months ago, however long it was, I haven't really been dreaming that much. You know, I've known that I was getting dropped off in my body. I knew that I was doing work in other dimensions, but I wasn't remembering any of it. And not last night, but the night before. So, you know, it's a 44-day Venus retrograde, right? Today is day 7. So on day 5 is when I remembered a dream. And this dream, I really feel like I was off planet. It was like I was in a white cubicle, and we were past, there was a bunch of us there. I don't remember the faces of the other people there, like who they were, but they were handing me a phone. I got on the phone, and somebody was asking me to recount my experiences. And so I was telling, you know, they were asking for the lessons. And so it was like I was recounting all these things, which in the old perception would have sounded like, you know, me griping about it. And in the dream, as I'm saying, okay, well, you know, I was this, and then this happened, and then this happened, you know, and these were all, again, lower 3D timeline situations and experiences. The woman on the phone at one point said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said, "What? No, it's all good," you know, and legit, you know, that's what that was my attitude in the dream. And then immediately a man came on the phone. It switched. It was so weird. It switched, and then it was like I made this appointment to speak again, but when I hung up and woke up, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I had another something that awoke me at 5, okay? So that was night 1. I woke up remembering it very vividly. Last night, I had a not just a dream, but it was the first lucid dream that I've ever had in my life. And it was what we would probably consider a nightmare. I did not go to sleep until around 1 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as I laid down, I had these lower frequencies in my ears, first the left and then the right. So consciously and with awareness, I, you know, shut it down. I had already shut down all the portals in the house, because now I'm starting to see more entities in the house with me. Again, if you guys have been following me, and if you haven't, these are not things that I'm used to seeing, okay? Because these are new activations, and these are new gifts that are coming online. In the dream, first I found myself in a hostage situation, and it was like an old bank, and I was in a chair, and I was aware in the dream, okay, so which was the first time this had ever happened. I was aware in the dream that I was being held hostage, but they weren't aware that I knew I was being held hostage. it was like they were utilizing me in a way. Okay, and I say they just because there were these other in the dream, other people around me. And then I started seeing these dark, like ghost entities, just quickly moving, and I can even still see it right now. The zhoo, zhoo. When I saw the entities and realized that in my dream, realized that there was all this spiritual stuff going on, and it wasn't just a physical 3D experience, is when I snapped and lucidly realized I can change this. And within my dream, I remember taking all the energy in and saying, no, I'm changing this right now, and pushing the energy, pushing my true heartfelt energy from my heart into the atmosphere of whatever dimension I was in. And it immediately shifted me into another location. Then I found myself, what it felt like was crawling in hay. I'm going to say it was a guillotine platform because it was wood. We were scared. We were crawling there, and there was a man behind me, and I was trying to save this man and myself. And that then we escaped, and then ended up in a large facility with a bunch of people which they perceived to be sleeping. And let's just say I saw that they weren't, and that there was blood, and some of them were dead, and it was not a pleasant scene. In the dream, I realized, and I knew, because again I had connected to the darker sides and timelines of my existence as a soul, because I know that I had played some of the roles in a negative vibration on 3D timelines, whether they were hijacked or not. They were experiences that I know that somehow I had created. Because I had this awareness so deeply within my template, when I found myself in that dream state, I consciously knew I could change it, because I knew I had created it. I knew that it wasn't happening to me. I knew that no one was trying to trick me. No one was trying to, throw me off course in this situation, because there's another one I want to talk about real after this. But in this situation, in these dream states, we are in these alternate dimensions, and we are on such a conjunction of timeline shifts right now, that we are collapsing these in all dimensions of space and time. If I would not have had the awareness that I had created it, and that in some form or another in that dimension, which is still going on, because there is no time, if I hadn't understood that I had created it, then I wouldn't have been able to collapse it. I awoke again at 5 in the morning, again, just like the night before. These always end up happening. I look at the clock, it's 3:05. 3 o'clock is substantial in the middle of the night. Growing up, I didn't know much, but I was always told 3 o'clock's the witching hour. And just because I don't know if it's a lower state, I'm not exactly sure. There's some physics that go with it, I'm sure, with the moon and the sun. Because again, at 5 in the morning is when I always know it's past. When I woke up, I had 80 new subscribers. And my video had gone, the last one that I did had gone from 200 and something views to 800 and something views. I had just looked at it at 1 o'clock in the morning before I had gone to sleep. I haven't left the house yet. I don't know what other reality in this 3D was changed because of the collapsing of these lower timelines. But that's what happened. And I just wanted to share with everyone about this as quickly as possible, because we're seeing this today in so many dimensional states. This all comes back to the program and the templates that we talk about in Starseedology, meaning I know I came from a lower timeline dimension in this reality. My program was set because I had to clear up to it. Some of you guys don't have this deep shadow stuff as much as some of us, okay? But whether or not it's happening in this way in the dimensional shift, right, when we're dreaming or whenever we're meditating, right, don't perceive it as an entity attack. Perceive it as an opportunity to change it, because today is Sun. And we have, gosh, and I have my notes holding up the thing. We have Sun conjunct, actually it's Sun opposite Pluto, exactly at 18 degrees. What does that mean? That's Sun opposite Pluto. We also have Mars and Venus at 10 degrees squaring. So again, this is a lot of program writing. We're writing our program. And so what's happening when we get taken back into these different dimensions, or you're in your physical and things are not going the way we want them to, and then we snap, just like I did in the dream. And this is also happening in the physical. When we snap and go, wait a minute, this isn't a reality that I would create. I can change this. I can change this right now. I can change this by raising my frequency. I can change this by stopping my focus, because my focus is then on my problem. It's not on how I would perceive it to be and how I know I would write a solution in, okay? When we do this, when right now, especially with these transits, and this is why Venus has gone retrograde. I mean, this is why Mercury's in Scorpio. This is, I mean, all the transits that are lining up right now have been ones in progress for thousands and thousands of years in order to make these specific transits. Really, you know, on 10-10, Venus and Mars were at 10-10, okay? Right? 10 degrees squaring one another. So just know that that is what's happening. I want to add real quick that there are some additional, now that being said, there are some energy rays and energies that are coming at us that is a spiritual attack. When I woke up this morning and was calling some people to see if anyone else was experiencing this, I pulled up some stuff on YouTube, and I think Aluna's talked about this. Glacier Rain has talked about this, and I added those to my playlist for October if you want to go check those out. There is an attack from energy. If you are having feel like you drank too much caffeine all of a sudden, pressure in your head. I know I've been having this lately, especially in different geographic locations where we're having a lot of these weather events. I mean, right now I'm in Texas and it's 60 degrees here. It's not even that cold up in Ohio, okay? Everything's shifting. Understand that too those are attacks, okay? And that is different than collapsing dimensional timelines. So just be aware whenever you start getting triggered a whole lot. If you're getting pressure in your head, if your heart is pounding, okay, this could be some of these energy attacks on us at this point. Remember, we've already won. This is not anything to be scared about, but recognize that there are two different things going on. This is the trick. This is what they're trying to trick us into not understanding, because if we think that the dreams, and if we choose to take a victimization stance at it, and choose to let our ego believe that these perceived lower timelines are attacks on us, then we can't clear them and collapse them, because you can't clear and collapse something that you can't take ownership of. And this goes back to, you know, the even the Draco timeline, even that little, you know, black dragon in our head. Because if we think that someone else put it there and we don't have any control to take it out, then it stays. So of course they're going to send weaponry and that type of thing as we're going through these transits of clearing the shadow side that we all know is here. We're on day 7. We have 37 more to go, okay? And it's going to get progressively, it's going to change, because Venus is going into different, it's not going to get more and more intense. You can't think of it like a linear dial, because it's not how it is. It's also what are the other transits that are going on as well, okay? So I just wanted to do a quick video about this. I'm going to do another short one on the vagus nerve today, and I want to also show you guys some different breathing exercises to bring in source energy, but I'm going to do that outside. I want to thank all of you so much. Let's call it in. I am right now. We call on the highest timeline of all dimensions of all space and time in this now. We activate our starseed DNA. We activate serotonin. We activate dopamine. We balance hormones. We balance glands. We activate our third eye. We activate the pineal gland. We activate and receive. We bring in all the energy that we have expelled that was not utilized. We call in always the highest timeline. We activate all the planets. We activate the sun. We activate the moon. We activate Venus. We activate Mercury. We activate Uranus. We activate Jupiter. We activate Neptune. We activate Mars. I can't remember if I did them all. We activate North Node. We activate South Node. And so it is. Call it in. We're in control. I call in the sovereignty. I call in my sovereignty. And I call in and transmute all energy to shut down all timelines that are not of the highest good of self and the highest good of humanity. And so it is.